Alright, everybody, we're getting ready to do a climb, but that did not sound like a fun occasion for Celie, so she went back to the ship to take a little rest.
And then,
gotta go scan some of these things.
right as Logan's saying this, you just hear off in the distance.
She bailed on us!
And I can confirm that she has left. She has left to go get
Some girlfriend she is, right, Logan?
takeout. I don't know. So the part that makes this room a little bit troublesome is that you have to, like you just saw there twice. You have to go around and you have to scan these symbols. Otherwise, you're gonna be for a pain. Then there's these guys.
I hope you had your bombs ready. Otherwise, you won't be able to progress much further.
Also, there are more hornets.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think you can even find the hives that they're spawning.
There's a hive
actually, you
right
can,
there.
but I don't think you can destroy them, can you?
Missile.
Oh, okay. Shoot,
That's a twofer.
All right, putting my
Both feet in
my
my
armpit
mouth.
in my mouth here, and
Oh,
no!
boy.
Well, it's a good thing you got the runic symbol before you fell.
Yeah.
Ow!
That's back up we
know
go,
what?
because you have to climb up every time.
Oh no.
Damn, sucks.
The world that we're in is bad enough with the space pirates and the Metroids, but then you have devil damn space hornets.
Well, at the very least, they're only home to Talon 4, and as far as we're concerned, Talon 4 isn't on any of our star charts, so we should be fine.
So right there, so
Unless
they mentioned
sorry.
mentioned two grip weeds or whatever. The yellow ones just stall you. The red ones will outright hurt you, and unless you shoot around them to make them go back down.
I don't remember if you mentioned it already, but that's one thing I do love about the charge shot in the Prime series is that you can technically use it to reel in nearby power-ups.
Oh yeah, it's really nice.
I think it's only in the Prime series, and yeah, that is a benefit.
Really is nice. Also, I was gonna say, we mentioned the shooting. We mentioned I was gonna mention something. Crap.
We
This
were going to
happens
talk
all
a little
the-
bit more about the Metroid movie possibilities.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I think that ship's already sailed along with
That's
Sealy.
taking care of that. Although I saw that one Did You Know Gaming thing that some dude actually wanted to try and make a movie of Super Paper Mario a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that was years ago. And sad thing is, I think even Charles Martinet say he would have been on board with it.
It was a decent. I mean, I think Super Paper Mario has a great story.
It does. It's just that I feel like that might not be the best starting point for a possible Mario movie.
It's a little too serious.
Not
for
to
a
mention,
Mario
it's
movie.
it's revolving around a very really radical departure from the typical Mario series.
I would more so
Yeah.
say that I'm not quite sure if it'd be a good choice because it's technically branching off of two already existing games.
So
Right.
meet
Well,
the
to be fair, it is a self-contained story.
meet the solar powered plant monster Flagra.
Yeah, Flagra here is a thing.
If you don't know what you're supposed to do, it can be hard. You have to use the charge
Flagrants.
shot. You have to use the charge shot to deflect any mirrors, and then it will reveal a little hole. And then we gotta go and bomb it. And that's unfortunately this dude picked the worst spot to sprout, and it happened to be right next to some flame charges.
Ouch.
Of all places.
We've done it. Take that, Ra, god of sun.
Well, that
Ra,
didn't
what are
take
you doing? Ra, stop it. No.
Wait, stop. What are you doing?
See, that's the odd thing. It's this thing is not controlling those mirrors. What act of nature is causing these mirrors to keep on to keep on moving?
Hello.
I'm guessing remote control by the space pirates.
Probably.
So yeah, you're gonna have to destroy the mirrors first.
And if you ever shoot something, nice. And if you ever shoot something and it glows green, it glows yellow, it means you're not. It means you're not actually hurting it. Okay, let's go put this in.
Come on.
Also, I'm hearing it right now. I like the new boss music and stuff. I'm hearing that was in this trilogy.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Logan, because apparently in the original release for Metroid Prime, apparently the music for this boss was glitched. It kept on looping every 20 seconds.
And I think that's why I never actually got to hear this part. I had one of the
Also-
version 1.1. I had one of the original version 1.0. So all you hear is that.
I think everyone in the U.S. had, and that's the reason why it sounded so weird to us when we actually got the trilogy version.
Right, because this actually sounds great. I'm used to just hearing the. Yeah, just the starting notes every time.
Honestly, I'm just surprised we never noticed that it was glitched up until now, because you think
just
that
thought it was legit.
maybe it just glitched at just the right spot, where it didn't automatically feel like it was that.
Yeah, but I am glad that I get to actually hear the whole cut of it, and it's a lot better. But
More
yeah, this
fitting.
is I like to think this is like the quote unquote big boss.
Devil
of,
damn.
Yeah, I know. I do all 4 now. But as you've seen, if you have some well-aimed charge shots, it's fine. Which I will again. If I was gonna talk about, I will mention that again. By the way, please. If I had to give the motion controls one big thing, is that I like the accuracy to be able to aim perfectly where I want to, not just have to rotate the camera everywhere. To be able, the ability to move and shoot in different directions like this is really nice.
It is helpful.
Boop. There we go.
Also, another thing, hold on, bro. Just looking at that guy's design with like the giant blade hands and how situational they are makes me think to the one Brawl in the Family comic talking about how Fantoon has it rough.
Yeah, he really does.
Also, and as Nintendo Capri Sun has shown, do not fall in that pit. You will die. Because that poison water is too deep for you to jump out of.
Ooh, the fauna.
But
Well,
after killing it, the water is purified.
Yay, Lion King's logic.
Rain shall save the day. Nice. And more importantly, a new power-up.
Is that the screw attack? Please tell me that's a screw attack.
Does any of these Prime games have a screw attack?
they do.
2 and 3 do, but
3, okay.
they're not the
Nope. Various.
Oh, it's the various. Well,
Time
you
to
know
get
what?
my shoulder pads
Yep.
back.
All right, you know what? That's fair. I'll take it.
Who's ready for the quarterback to hit the field once again? I set the quarterback to reach
Wait for it.
She has to close her eyes dramatically and
Getting into her inner T pose.
inflate the shoulders and boop, done. Anchor arms, and now
Anchor
she's
shoulders.
a jerk.
And everyone loves her.
Yeah.
But you can also argue that the artists themselves do look a bit more like bicep, like actual.
I forget.
full-on
Are they still
biceps.
using? I forget. Are they still using her other M design for Smash Ultimate?
Yeah, they
or
are.
Using,
They are.
Are they using Metroid Returns?
They're using other M, which is fine. I mean, I do like the
Other M's is
redesign she got in Samus Returns, but the sleeker design also has its merits.
I like the addition of those what do they call them? Like those special abilities with cooldowns. In,
the
Samus Returns?
Aeon powers.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
Those were pretty good, and I do hope that if there ever is another 2D Metroid game, especially the one that they were hinting at, spoiler warnings. I do hope they bring those back. Ow.
I hope so too, and I think that because I think not only are they cool, they also are very helpful for making the game a little more approachable to newcomers.
Oh yeah, no, especially with the freaking map, like the map feature. That is good.
Yeah. Have you played any of that new Samus game there, John?
Mm-mm. I have
With 3DS?
a DS.
3DS.
3DS. Yeah, I have a 3DS.
Okay.
You should go get it.
All I will say about Samus Returns is that it is a great remake. It's hard as balls though.
It is.
Well, because they added the whole especially with that new parry mechanic and stuff. They expect you to use it.
Well, it's not just that. It's just a matter of the fact that they make all the enemies hit so devil damn hard.
Use some bomb stuff here.
Doop.
It's just for a little missile tank, but hey, I want to show off my bomb jumping skills.
I do think some aspects of that remake are better than others, but overall, on the whole, it is a really great. It is a good return to form.
Yeah.
This is the Samus I want to see back and again every now and again.
Now I do not know if it's possible to climb things as well as you could with these bomb jumps. I know you can. The game does expect you to, like you just saw. It does expect you to at least make one bomb jump.
I don't think they can let you. They don't let you bomb jump spam because
of the cooldown, and you're a lot heavier in this game than you are in other games.
Yes. So for all it's worth, don't bother.
I'm sure there's some speedrunner who's figured it out perfectly, but just casual, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really don't need it to beat this game in a relatively comfortable time.
Should be.
The most you have to worry about are those goddamn artifacts.
Yet.
That is a whole so I guess we should get around to that if I haven't already mentioned it. I think I'm going to look at it soon. Do I look at it yet?
I
Oh, no,
wouldn't
just get
be
this
surprised if you show them off this part,
Energy
but
tank.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe let me just quickly message
To make this game's overall length pad out further than it needs to, they have a special MacGuffin you need in order to beat that. You need all of them in order to beat the game.
Well, that's the thing. Like, some games they have you like you need to kill all these bosses, and Metroid 2 was kill this many big Metroids. And this one, it's to get to access to the big guy, you need to find these little like keys.
Which honestly, I wouldn't find so bothersome if they weren't so if they weren't so obtuse at times.
Some of them are.
Well, do you know why they're obtuse, James?
Well, the issue is that the issue is that it's not so much as oh, go here and you'll find them. First, you have to solve a riddle to figure out where they're located. Then you have to make sure you have the right item to get screw the bomb drops. You have to like. So first, there's a whole step process, and I'm gonna show it off as best I can. Is that first, you go to the center area and you scan all the statues, and they'll tell you where. They won't outright tell you. They won't show on your map. They'll say something, and the text is highlighted or accentuated in such a way that you can then kind of get the impression of where they're located, and from there, that's where you then learn. Okay, that's the room I should go to. Then, in terms of how to get it, you have to go to that room and figure out what you're supposed to do there. Which sometimes it's a platforming puzzle. Sometimes it's a bunch of enemies you're fighting.
And do you know why they have to do that?
Why?
Because they had to.
They had to. I had a feeling you were about to get into that.
Because honestly, if you think about it, it's not that far removed.
It's really not. You're right.
And Chozo's created everything. Anyway, so are Chozos supposed to be like gods?
They're
just
they're
an advanced
basically
civilization?
they're just highly advanced bird people.
Yeah, they're just smart burbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really are. They're in a way you could argue they're just one step ahead of humanity in some regard.
Well, then why did they die so easily?
Because they're birds.
Yeah,
That's fair.
for being a very advanced race with very advanced technology, they seem pretty brutal. I mean, don't you agree, Sammy?
You pass for Chris Ridley. I actually didn't mean to impress him. Let's go to speaking of Ridley, let's go to a place that has nothing to do with Ridley but borrows his theme.
Oh yeah.
Because why
that
not?
Place. Which
It's a classic Metroid.
Magmore Caverns. Caverns.
Caverns.
God damn it.
Welcome back to Magmore Caverns Hobbs. We have here a new area here that, as soon as we get into it, uses a remixed song. I don't know. I forget actually. Was it in Zero Mission or did it start in Super Metroid?
It started with Super Metroid.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also,
so
I know it's pronounced Magmore, but for some reason the way it's spelled makes it more like Magmur.
I just think of Magmortar because wasn't that a Pokemon or something?
Magmar.
Akbar.
Or as the community affectionately call him, Butt Duckling.
Why Duckling?
Have you seen his face?
That's fair.
God, just imagine that now. If this place was called Magmar Caverns, and you were fighting literal, semi-realistic Magmars and back there. Imagine if those things end up being a Detective Pikachu.
Those eyes are so weird.
I'm not quite sure because honestly, I'm trying to think.
Here
like, a lot of the Pokemon that were in the original game, were they mostly towards one particular generation?
And Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, they were definitely leaning. Looks like they're leaning towards Generation 1 a little bit, but I've seen, people, there's like videos, and there's the
Magmors.
And as you can hear in the background, there's the Ridley's theme.
I was about to say, I know that there are exceptions because Greninja is a Gen 5, was he?
But I think it was okay.
No. Greninja was Gen 6.
Gen 6, okay. But I think he was fine because I think he was fine to have. By the way, you're supposed to know that you can bomb this with scanning. I think it was okay to have him in the trailer, like predominantly because of Smash and like he's a pretty well-known Pokemon. I think for that. But between Pikachu, Psyduck, Jigglypuff, I feel like they're Charizard. I feel like they're leaning more towards Gen 1. I think
on all
maybe?
the Bulbasaurs.
Crap.
Oh yeah,
So,
these fuckers.
Triclops.
Sorry, Sherry, you gotta go.
See,
I'm sorry, but the timing on my end was funny. It's like, and the Bulbasaurs. Crap, it's the Bulbasaurs.
No, okay. These things are annoying. So their lore basically states that they just don't like round things. They just are pissed off by them.
So they're like
what
the
you have
polar
to
opposite
do
of
with
those metal toes.
So what you just saw that I did there a couple times at first was also, oh geez, you fog up your actual visor.
Ooh.
That's annoying.
Which is a
I would
nice
love if
detail.
I would love if I would love if, as a joke, just one time when it fogs up, you just see windshield wipers.
I was thinking the exact same devil damn thing.
Of course. Honestly, it's a good thing that those shoulder pads aren't for nothing. They also pack probably the galaxy's most strongest air conditioning unit.
Seriously.
Let go of me. I love how they just kind of spit you out like, no. So, you know, the best strategy is to just plant a bomb, because then they'll decide to take care of the round bomb before taking care of you.
I'm sorry, the dumbest thing just popped in my head. Like, the thing grabs Samus, and it's like, Samus, it's good to see you, but you gotta go.
Just. There we go. By the way, and again, if you've played a Metro game, there's gonna be a butt ton of these missiles. I gotta find.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say.
I
am so sorry, but now that you make that joke, now I just can't help but think a scenario where you end up having to, like, a what-if scenario of a Zelda game where you have to rescue, like, any Chozo that are still alive, and every time you rescue them, thank you for releasing me.
just flies away.
That would be interesting. I mean, honestly, okay, great. Okay, just gonna say this right now. We are essentially going into Samus Return spoiler territory, but basically, if they ever do make that sequel that they're alluding to, where you basically are fighting against a renegade group of Chozos, just imagine if, like, you actually have to save the more friendly ones, and that's exactly what they do say.
Well, now I am actually curious then if that's how they if that's the big spoiler at the end of Samus Returns, is then I'm thinking, wait. So are they going to retcon anything from any of the other Samus? Because Samus 2 was not the furthest in the timeline we've been.
Well, here's the thing about that, though, Logan. It's not something that you actually see, like, during the events of the game itself. It's something you actually learn through, like, these little lore dumps that you unlock every now and again.
Yeah.
Which you mostly get from just doing what Samus normally does, collect throughout the planet. Once you pretty much go 100% completion, it's pretty much implied at the very end of it that the reason why there's no more Chozos on SR388 is that a lot of them, they were all captured.
Oh.
And not just captured by anyone, but an actual renegade portion of Chozos.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Yes. I like the little assist that happens, but okay.
And I will say the way they reveal that is actually very unsettling. Like, it borderlines on how creepy Metroid Fusion can get.
Wait, okay, I'm curious now, because we're never going to be able to do that for the channel because it's a 3DS game. How did they do it?
Basically, once you view the very last official lore bit, like, the game suddenly, it acts like it's glitching out, but it's actually not. It's basically just phasing in the last, like, the hidden lore dump that shows exactly what happened to them after all that happened.
Huh, like it's some secret file being unlocked. Okay, that's actually interesting.
I'll show you guys once we're done with this part.
Someone's captured, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
But I mean, I could see that. I could totally see there being a sort of General Zod kind of thing going on with the
That's essentially what they're doing with this.
You know,
and I could see that.
I know in the comics he's a more serious character, but just because you said General Zod, now I really want the main bad guy Chozo to be like, you will kneel before Chozo.
So welcome everybody. We just made ourselves to another third area, Phendrana Drifts, and one of the longer areas, not the most like frustrating, but one of the longer areas has some nice music, but just this level in particular has a really bad problem of everything looking the same.
Yeah.
I can see what you're coming from, but it's kind of refreshing going from a lava level to an ice level.
Was this the first big ice level for Samus?
Yes.
Because I can't remember any other snow levels in other games.
Yeah, there hasn't been any other snow levels up until this point.
Actually, it's kind of funny now I think about it. I think I think Metroid Prime, especially, like, you spend the most time on the surface than you do in any other Samus game. Usually you're underground and stuff in tunnels. Anyway. Alright, join us as we experience a wonderful winter wonderland.
Ooh, just in time for Christmas!